You want to tell the folks at home what you got?
A really sad grilled cheese.
What makes it sad?
Just look at it. It's really dry.
And how much did you pay for that?
More than a birria taco.
What do you give it out of a 10 scale?
4.
Oh, it's not that bad.
3.5.
Can I try some?
Okay. You eat it yourself.
It's been a few weeks, a few months actually, since we've discussed dating in one of these videos here. This week's video, we're dedicating to the topic of dating. My personal approach to dating is we're either in an on era or an off era. So meaning in an on era, we're obviously on dating apps, we're going to dating events, we're like investing in things that are related to bettering oneself for the purpose of, I guess, getting better at dating stuff, right? In an off period, it's just basically the complete opposite of the on period. Now we are currently in an on dating era, meaning we are currently initiated, we're engaged. How you doing, man? Good, how are you? Good. We are in an on period right now. So all that stuff, the dating apps, the dating this and that, going to events, oh, it's on, my friends. It is very, very much on. Now, have I been on very many dates lately? No. But that being said, we are still, nonetheless, in the on period. This week, we are signed up to attend a dating event. All right, I'm going to a dating event right now, and I'm bringing you all along with me here. The topic of the event, the thing that they're going to be discussing, is the topic of how to have better first dates. If I had to guess, there's probably going to there's a workshop component to this thing. The people who are hosting are dating coaches, so I assume there's going to be some sort of a presentation. If I learn anything new, I'll definitely report back and let you all know. All right, we're here. We're on the inside of the building now. I'm walking in. I'm about 3 minutes late. So I'm gonna walk in there and I'll see you all soon.
For women in New York, I always hear that there's no men out there who are serious about dating. And I think that men are serious about dating when they're serious about you. And so I think in dating, in particular for women, it's important to look out for those green flags and those red flags. I think it's very common in New York City, maybe because of the grass is always greener myth.
Hello. It is the next day. The event was successful. You enter the space and it's a big mixer. Just a lot of people. I wasn't late actually. It's like they just did a mixer for like 45 minutes at first. Everybody just kind of mingles and talks. Then they have this little event space set up. At the event, there were 3 panelists. There was a dating coach, and a person who runs this event in New York City called Met Through Friends.
Dating is a skill. Like we're not born knowing how to date, and we're not taught that in school. We're not taught that in college. We're not really taught how to date anywhere. And it's kind of, faux pas to ask your parents about it unless you're really close with them. So we were like figuring it out date by date.
A big topic of the event, one of the things that kept getting brought up was this idea of not using dating apps, basically. It's like a huge trend in the dating world right now. It's a hot topic. So basically, they were encouraging people, men and women, to get in the habit of approaching people that you find interesting in public, striking up conversation, and having that be the catalyst for meeting new people in a dating context.
When going up to talk to someone, you don't have to have some special fancy line in order to do that. And if just going up and saying hi is a great way to meet people and get more comfortable with, if you want to date in real life, that's what you got to do. You got to be able to start off those conversations.
One of the insights that I liked that the panelist at the end on the far left said was that you'll never say the wrong thing to the right person. My takeaway from that is, and listen, I'm just learning these things myself, but my takeaway from that quote of hers is essentially, if you're a little bit hesitant, or if I find myself being a little bit scared to make an approach, I think the thing to always remember in my mind is that if that person already had an inkling to get to know you or to want to talk to you anyway, anything you say is going to be fine in that moment. The point is just to break the ice and just talk to the person. There's one person from the audience who asked this interesting question, which is basically, how do you balance showing up and being in the moment when you're on a date versus authenticity and being true to yourself?
How do you strike a balance between best foot forward and authenticity?
He was like, listen, in my real everyday, day-to-day life, I live like a slob, but yet you always want to show up to these dates being your truest self. So how do you balance those two sides of you? Do you show up to the date and present, even though you're being a little bit fake, to kind of present your best self? Or do you be authentic, because eventually that person's going to get to know the real you anyway? The panelists had really good advice on this. She said something along the lines of like, think about your everyday, day-to-day life. You dress up when you go to work. When you go out with your friends, you put on a certain uniform because you want to present well for your friends. And so you can think of going on dates in a very similar manner. You're not being an inauthentic person by presenting well or dressing up. You're still yourself. You're just presenting the date version of yourself that is appropriate for that particular situation. I have one final insight that I want to share that I learned after talking to one of the panelists at the end of the event. But first, I'm meeting up here at this coffee shop bakery here today because I'm meeting this girl who I met last week at a different dating event. She hosts events in the realm of dating, and I agreed to meet up with her over here in Brooklyn to kind of talk it out. Have you been in a vlog before?
No, I never have.
My friends, we're here with Isabella. Let's say you're just out and about in the world. Let's say you're at like a cafe or like the park or something.
Okay.
And you're in this mood of like, if somebody approached me right now, I'd be down to like talk to someone, right?
Yeah.
What are things that I could do in those moments to like make myself seem more open and receptive to that sort of a thing?
Basically, the ways to do that, which are probably like the most basic things in human interaction, is look at the person and smile, for sure.
Okay.
I think sometimes that feels really hard, even though it's like the most basic thing.
To be the person to like look up and like smile and whatnot, or
Yeah, I
to be
think
the person that approaches?
I think, well, either really. I think that leading with openness is key for either side of that. And I think the ultimate ways to lead with openness are to look at someone, make eye contact, smile. You could comment on something that's happening.
Oh, that's smart. Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like say you're at a cafe and someone is like has a fun sticker on their laptop as they're working, or like is reading a certain book. You could comment on that.
I like that.
Just these very basic things that open up the door and just like taking the pressure off yourself, because either the person is going to respond and engage and be like, oh yeah, well this sticker was about this, and like then I did that, and then it gives you an opportunity to ask follow-ups. Or the person just is like, oh yeah, it's a cool sticker, and then you know, okay, maybe they don't want to engage, and that's okay. You know?
Okay. I guess the feeling should be like, you should, as long as you're like kind of being contextual to the situation, like respectful of what's going on, like you should feel okay to like strike up conversation.
I definitely think so. Like,
Okay.
I think so many people have fear about this because, I mean, understandably and thankfully, most people don't want to make someone else feel uncomfortable. And
Totally.
We should not do that. But talking to someone about the sticker on their laptop or smiling at them is not going to make them feel.
Okay, I hear you.
I think the ultimate thing that everyone can do is take your earbuds out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That is
no
like,
AirPods
talk about
in.
the most basic thing, but like, I mean, I do this in New York all the time. Like, I walk around, I'm listening to music. I'm not really connecting with anyone. I'm kind of like tuning things out.
Yeah.
But the minute you take out your, like, when I tried to do this, like, day without any earpods out into the world recently.
Oh, you do that?
And it was so
okay.
fun because you have no distraction. So you're walking down the street, you like hear what people are saying, you see what people are doing, and then you like connect with people and strike up little conversations. Like, taking out the earbuds is like the ultimate first step.
I always think taking out the earbuds is like a visual indication that like because you just look like you're more busy if you have your earbuds in.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah, so that's
smart.
huge. Take out the earbuds.
Take out the AirPods. That was Isabella, the person I met up with at the cafe back there. Isabella works specifically, Isabella's the perfect person to talk to about this stuff because she works specifically in the dating space. So it's always interesting hearing a person like that's thoughts about dating related things because you have so much exposure to dating, relationships, New York City specific dating related topics that I feel that people like Isabella have so much insight, so many things that I can learn from having those types of conversations. Final insight that I learned yesterday after speaking to one of the panelists there. There's a woman there who runs this event called Met Through Friends here in New York City, where basically all of her events, you bring a friend with you and you kind of mix and mingle. So you know that everybody there has been vetted by one other person who's been at the event. So I asked her, I basically told her, listen, this summer I'm trying to plan my very own dating event. It's going to be a Pitch Your Friends night. I asked her, as a first-time host of an event, and also someone who is potentially going to be pitched myself, what are some insights or just like things some words of advice for someone like myself in my position? And she told me, if you're somebody who's going to be pitched, obviously that friend of yours knows you very well. So as much as possible, try to give them access to allowing the audience to know some deep insight about you that you wouldn't know if you were just in the context of a regular old dating event. So for example, one of the things that she mentioned is, in her experience when she's gone to these types of events, the things that work really well are when someone is able to be like, there's this one funny time, blah, 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 blah. Or look at this funny photo when they were a child. This is like an indication to who they are as a person, but it's like some sort of an insight that you wouldn't normally get when you're just meeting somebody out in the wild normally. So if I were to translate this advice to some sort of an actionable dating advice for a first date context, my takeaway is I'm gonna try in the context. What's up? How you doing?
What's up?
You want to say hi to my friends?
Hello, friends. What's up?
We're
Welcome to New York.
You know what I'm talking about in my vlog today? I'm talking about dating.
Oh my God. In 2025, just stay home.
2025.
What are your all's names?
I'm Leah.
Leah?
I'm Jazzy.
Jazzy? I'm Kevin. Nice to meet you
Yes,
all.
nice to meet you.
Yeah. Are you guys just enjoying the day today?
No, we're forced to
working.
work in this heat.
Yeah,
Oh, you guys work around here. Thanks for saying hi.
Of course.
we appreciate you.
Yeah. Stay cool out there today. Hi.
Thank you.
My actionable advice would probably be, or like the way I synthesize this is, when you're meeting someone new, to try as best as possible to just be a little bit vulnerable with maybe your backstory or like some little weird nuance about your personality. Because I think people tend to like people's vulnerabilities. Those of you who have been following along for the past few weeks, we are currently deep within an everything bagel seasoning saga. Now, the next one is on its way still. In the meantime, I thought, you know what? Why don't we try out a different brand? That's where this guy comes along. This arrived earlier this week. This is the Badia Everything Bagel Seasoning. And now, while this one is not expired, taste-wise, it's not as good. Next week, we will have another unboxing of hopefully the next arrival of a non-expired Everything Bagel Seasoning. And that'll be year 15, week number 774.